Welcome to the Future Strong podcast.
Great to be here.
So today we're looking at some really interesting material pointing towards what seems like a significant trend.
Yeah, this idea of screen-free living really seems to be gaining traction.
Especially among younger people, that's what the concepts highlight. But, adults are definitely a part of it too.
Absolutely. We're seeing concepts like Screen Strong and the Offline Club pop up.
Right.
And today we want to kind of unpack those. What do they tell us about why people might be stepping back from their screens?
And what are they choosing instead? What's the alternative?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dig in. The core finding, it seems, across these concepts is pretty clear. There's this growing movement, particularly with young people, actively choosing less screen time.
Yeah, it's not just accidental, it's intentional. There's, seeking it out.
And Screen Strong, that's one of the concepts mentioned. How does that fit in? Is it like promoting this?
Well, the way it's described, Screen Strong sounds less like a strict set of rules and more like maybe a mindset.
Okay.
It's focused on building resilience, being more intentional about how and when you use screens, which naturally often leads to choosing screen-free time. It's about sort of inner strength against that constant digital pull.
That makes sense. Less reactive, more proactive, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And the other concept, the offline club, that sounds a bit more direct.
It does. The material presents that one with a pretty clear goal, actually getting people, kids, and adults off their devices.
Right, off the screens and where?
Into the real world.
Yeah.
It sounds much more action-focused than philosophical, maybe.
Okay, so less about the internal mindset, more about the external action.
That seems to be the distinction, yeah. And what's really interesting is what they offer instead. Both concepts seem to push this idea of bringing people onto the scene.
Onto the scene. What does that mean exactly, according to the material? Just being outside?
It seems like more than just being physically present, it's about actively engaging with the physical world, with other people directly, face-to-face. And participating in activities that happen in, real space and time. It's positioned as the opposite of being on a screen.
So real-world interaction.
Exactly. The concepts mention things like outdoor stuff, hands-on projects together, even just unstructured social time, hanging out in the same physical space. That's being onto the scene.
It really makes you wonder, why now? What are these concepts suggesting as the driver behind this push away from the 24/7 connection?
Well, the material hints at a few possibilities. Maybe a feeling of being overwhelmed, digital saturation.
Like diminishing returns from always being online.
Yeah, perhaps. It implies people might be realizing, maybe not even consciously at first, that they're craving certain experiences that screens just don't quite deliver.
Such as?
Things like deeper sensory experiences or those unpredictable, spontaneous interactions you only get in person. Or even just the satisfaction of making something tangible with your hands.
Right.
The idea seems to be that while screens connect us in one way, they might paradoxically disconnect us from our immediate surroundings or even parts of ourselves.
So it points towards a real hunger for different kinds of experiences, different ways to connect.
Like so.
And this really brings it back to you listening right now, this growing interest in being onto the scene. What might that suggest about what you or people around you are missing or maybe actively looking for beyond the digital world?
Yeah, good question to ask yourself.
It might make you reflect on your own habits maybe, or think about how your own community could foster more of these on-the-scene moments the concepts talk about.
Exactly. These concepts, Screen Strong, the Offline Club, they don't feel isolated. They seem like signs of maybe a bigger desire for something more, real, more grounded in physical presence.
Okay, let's wrap up. The main takeaway seems to be that concepts like Screen Strong and the Offline Club signal a rising interest in screen-free life, pushing this idea of getting onto the scene for everyone, young and old.
Promoting that real-world engagement.
So here's something to think about, building on these ideas. If choosing to be on the scene through things like community projects, more face-to-face time, less screen dependency, if this is growing into a real counter-movement to our digitally saturated lives, what kind of genuinely new connections or new kinds of creativity or even new community structures might start to emerge from that?
What could that actually look like as it unfolds?
Something to consider. Thanks for joining us on the Future Strong podcast.